New syllabus Mathematics, Shinglee 2. Our first topic is direct proportion. Before going to start this topic, this chapter, I would like to explain about direct proportion. You all of know the meaning of direct. Direct is straight or undeviating. And what does it mean by proportion? Okay. Direct is straight or undeviating. But it in mathematics, direct proportion. Here, what does it mean by direct? Direct variation is in mathematical relationship between two variables that can be expressed by an equation in which one variable is equal to a constant times the other. So let me write the definition of direct variation in mathematics. Mathematical relationship between two variables. Notice one thing, between two variables. That can be expressed by an equation in which so direct variation in mathematical relationship between two variables that can be expressed by an equation. So notice one thing, we have needed two variable and expressed by an equation in which one variable is equal to a constant time the others. Okay, now proportion. Another terms come here, proportion. Proportion indicates as one amount increases, another amount increases at the same rate. Okay, let's write down the meaning of proportion. As one amount increases, another amount increases. At the the same rate. So as one amount increases, another amount also increases at the same rate. But here again one new term comes, that is rate. I know you do have ideas about rate, but let me explain about rate. A comparison of two related quantities. A comparison of two related quantities. So rate should be between related two quantities. Let me read the definition of rate. A comparison of two related quantities. So we have seen definitions of direct variation, proportion and rate. So if you see the table over here, number of days x is given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 increasing amount, and the fine y cent is given 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. These amounts are also increasing. So let's go to the explanation of this table. Here are some questions for you. If the number of days a book is overdue increases, will the fine increase or decrease? By observing the table, you have to answer all of these questions. If the number of days a book is overdue increases, will the fine increase or decrease? By observing the table, if you see the number of days, 1, 2, 3, if the number of days increases, then the fine also increases, that is 15, 13, 45. So will the fine increase or decrease? We can say increase. Now come to the second question. If the number of days a book is overdue is doubled, how will the fine charge? One hint is given here. Compare the fines when a book is overdue for 3 days and 6 days. If you consider about 6 days, then you will get the fine 90. If you consider 8 days, then you will get fine 120. So the question was, if the number of days a book is overdue is doubled, how will the fine charge? If you observe the table, you will see the fines also increased with the doubled amount. Now the question is, if the number of days a book is overdue is tripled, what will happen to the fine? If the number of days a book is overdue is halved, how will fine charge? If the number of days a book is overdue to reduce to 1/3 of the original number, what will happen to the fine? Okay, from the investigation, we will notice that as the number of days x a book is overdue increases, the fine y cent increases proportionally. Now see here, one terms come proportionally. What does it mean by proportional? As one amount increases, another amount also increases at the same rate. The rate should be same. If x is doubled, then y is be doubled. If x be tripled, then y is be tripled. So x and y is increasing relationship, but with the same rate. Sometimes doubled, tripled. So the rates are same over here. Similarly, as the number of days x a book is overdue decreases, the fine y cent decreases proportionally. If x is halved, see the statement, if x is halved, then y is be halved. If x be halved, then y be halved. So the rates are same. Here x is halved and y is halved. Okay. If x is reduced to 1/3 of its original value, then y will be reduced to 1/3 of its original value. This relationship is known as a direct proportion. This relationship changing with the same rate, this relationship is known as a direct proportion. We said that the fine y sent is directly proportional to the number of days a book is overdue. So finally we can say this statement that the fine y sent is directly proportional to the number of days a book is overdue. Directly proportional. So the term we get directly proportional. Let me tell about the direct proportion about. Again, direct variation in mathematical relationship between two variables that can be expressed by an equation in which one variable is equal to a constant time to the others. And what does it mean by proportion? As one amount increases, another amount also increases at the same rate. And what does it mean by rate? A comparison of two related quantities. A comparison by which amount we can compare two quantities is called a rate. So direct proportion is called the relationship between two quantities but with the same rate. Let me explain the next page. Okay. Now here is one table given. Complete table 1.2. Number of days are given and also fines are given. And now the question is for you, find the rate. So if you find the rate y by x 15 by 1 equals 15. For the second quantity 30 by 2 is also 15, 45 by 3 is also 15, and what about 60 by 4? If you divide 60 by 4, you will get again 15. If you divide 75 by 5, the two rate of the two quantities, one is fine and another one is number of days, then you will get again 15. Come to the next one. If you divide 90 by 6, you will get again 15. If you divide 105 by 7, you will get 15. If you divide 120 by 8, you will get 15. If you divide 135 by 9, you will get 15 again. And finally, if you divide 150 by 10, you will get 15. So if you observe the table, then you are getting same rate for two ratios. For two quantities, we are getting same rate. Now, we can what can we observe about the rate y by x? We have seen the rates are same here. What does y by x represent? Y by x represent the rate between two quantities. One is fine and another one is the number of books. What does the constant 15 mean in this context? 15 means both the quantities are changing with the rate of 15. Let the number of days a book is overdue x1 equals 3, then the corresponding 5 is y1 equals 45. And let the number of days a book is overdue be x2 is 6, then the corresponding 5 y2 is 19. Then by using proportion method, we can find we can say that y1 by x1, the ratio of both the terms in each case is 15. Constant, the two rates y1 by x1 and y2 by x2 are equal. So the observation is two rates y1 by x1 and y2 by x2 are equal. So this overall statement is indicating about the direct proportion, that is, two quantities would be changed with the same rate. Okay, this is if y is directly proportional to x, so the final statement is over here. If y is directly proportional to x, then y1 by x1 equals y2 by x2, or x2 by x1 equals y2 by y1. These are the proportions between two quantities x and y, where x indicates the number of days and y was indicating the fine y sent. Up to this for today. Next day we will go to the worked example.